Hello there. This is Matt Boggs, the co-founder of the Life Mastery Institute. I'm going to give you some very simple things that you can do right now if you have to craft a presentation, a brand new presentation you've never given before. How do you construct it for a business? So the first thing that you want to do is you want to come up with your golden thread. The golden thread is this. It's if someone leaves this presentation and they're all excited about what you taught. They're all excited about your presentation. They go back to their spouse and their spouse says, "What was this about?" They're typically going to sum it up in one sentence. So what is the sentence that you want everyone leaving that presentation to say your presentation was about? Come up with that golden thread first. This is beginning with the end in mind, reverse engineering your presentation. So say, let me give you an example. Conflict, confrontation, that's going to be the topic of this. What if the golden thread was love is bigger than any confrontation or conflict? That's the golden thread. Love is bigger than any confrontation or conflict. So that golden thread you're going to weave throughout your entire talk. You're going to say it multiple times throughout your talk so that people have that tagline, if you will, to latch onto. The second step, so you've got your golden thread. The second step is to reverse engineer by knowing your audience. So then you ask yourself, okay, what does the audience think about this topic? What are the audience's fears about conflict and confrontation? What are their fears? What are their goals? What are their what are their false beliefs? And what are their hidden objections to maybe taking action to improve this? And you start and you go through a list and you list all these things down for yourself. Say, what are their fears about conflict and confrontation? Well, the fear is that they'll get rejected. If they actually bring the conflict up, that they'll be judged, they'll be rejected, they'll be shunned, they'll disconnect from the people they love, they might get fired, they might not get promoted, right? Those are all the fears that they have. What are their goals? Well, their goals are to get rid of the feeling that they have around the thing that they have conflict on. So when you want to have, you're like, you need to have a conflict, or you need to have a conversation with somebody, and it's because they did something. There was an agreement that was broken, or there was an expectation that didn't get met, and so you feel this feeling of I need to solve this, but you're afraid of the confrontation. So how do you manage? Your goal is to reestablish a good connection with the other person and to restore your feeling to one of peace. So those are the goals. What are the false beliefs that we have about confrontation and that we have about conflict? And name those false beliefs. False beliefs might be that the person believes that all confrontation is bad. All conflict is bad. All conflict is destructive. That relationships can't heal or can't overcome a conflict that you have. What are the possible objections that they're going to have to taking action? The objection is I'm too scared. The objection is I don't have time. The objection is it's not going to work for me. The objection is I've tried that before with somebody else and it didn't work. You want to make sure that you're overcoming or speaking to those hidden objections during your talk. Okay, so now you know your golden thread. Now you know your audience. The next thing you do is come up with 3 simple steps, 3 simple things. I know there's a million things that you can do to overcome conflict and also confrontation, right? But you're not there. You've got 30 minutes. The number one mistake rookie speakers, presenters, teachers make is they try to teach too much. They try to cram everything that they know into that one talk. And why do we do that? I do that too when I was first starting. Why do we do that? Because we love to serve. We're generous. You're generous. You love to serve. You love to help people. You're trying to give them as much as you can. That actually backfires. Way better, give them less. Less is more, right? Clarity comes from not being overwhelmed with too much information. Clarity is power. You want to give your audience power? Simplify it for them. Simplify it by teaching no more than 3 principles. It could be 1 principle if you want. So simplify it, teach 1 principle, 1 to 3 principles, make them easy to remember, and here's how you do that. When you teach a principle, describe the principle, and then tell a story. A story from your life, a story from somebody else's life, but as human beings, we relate to stories. We can remember stories. That's how we internalize the experience of that principle, and we say, yeah, that makes sense. So it's a story about a time when you got in conflict with somebody and you implemented the principle you're teaching them and it worked out. Okay? So, know your golden thread. Know your audience. Pick your 3 points. You might be asking, well, how in the hell do I find these 3 points? Well, Google it. You can start there. Order some books on Amazon. Start there. You've got a few days for this talk. You have an amazing intelligence system in you. You've got incredible intuition. You have a life full of amazing, rich life experiences. As you Google this and you start getting the juices flowing, you're going to come up with way more than 3 ideas that are powerful and effective. And that's how you put your talk together. Say your golden thread many times throughout the talk. Speak to the fears, the goals, the false beliefs, the myths that people have around this particular topic. And then teach them the 3 steps. And again with your golden thread. And you have just created a kick-butt talk that will serve your audience. And topics like this can literally change people's lives forever. Also, share this if you found value in that as well, because that helps get this message out. And our message at the Life Mastery Institute is that you are more powerful than any circumstance, any situation, any condition. You're more powerful than all of that, and that you can absolutely have a life that you love living. So, feel a big hug from me to you. I'll see you soon. Bye.